Okay, so this is take 2 on the video for today. It is May 2nd. It is Thursday, May 2nd. I will say last night's video, I just forgot to post. I got home, didn't think about it. About 7:30 last night I realized it. Yeah, at that point it was too late. But this video I plan on posting. Large pink note on my desk. It's been hidden now. Small mess. But, there we go. First, this is a review. You can tell. Front is add, subtract, back, multiply, back. I'm playing it. I'm going to do like I'm going to do part of the front, part of the back with 7th period, and then I'll do part of the front and part of the back with 8th period. Hopefully by then, I'll be done with the whole thing. Here's why, okay? I want you all to be able to, I'm not really making this homework. I'm saying this. If you feel that there is a section that you may want to practice, then practice it and watch the video to check your answers. Okay? I'm going to do like probably 6 and then, like 5 or 6 and 5 or 6 with y'all. But the other 5 or 6, it's kind of up to you if you want to do them or not. And I've told this to every class, so... Okay, so will you first just fix up, if you would like, I think it'll make you a little easier, number 1, just write this right below it, or beside it, whatever. This is what number 3 would look like if you want to clean it up and make it look nice. And I know it's kind of silly, but... Okay. And there's one more that I would clean up. Right, good. It's number 9. It's down here on the bottom. I just can't. And all you're doing is converting an improper fraction to a mixed number. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm not changing the problem. I'm just cleaning it up. Okay, are y'all ready? So here we go. What I'm going to do is do as many as I can, and y'all just kind of stick with me. If you got questions, we're going to do it. I'm going to start with the add and subtract, because I felt like that has been the biggest trouble. And then we'll work on some multiply divide. So, here we go. I'm going to start with number 1 and number 2. If you would like to kind of get ahead of me, go for it. I'm just going to start by writing them. Number 2 over here. Okay. So, there's 1 and 2. Okay, so just kind of talking through them. Like, just start with number 1 here. Everybody got number 1 written? Okay. Common denominator between a 9 and a 3. 9. Okay, so to find the numerator, I would be thinking 9 times 1 is 9, 5 times 1 is 5, 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Stopping here for a second and breathing and looking. Can you do 5 minus 6? No. So you do have to borrow. And when you borrow, you are borrowing from the 4. You're taking 1 from him. He does now have 3. And all it is instead of adding right here a big fat 1, I'm going to add the 1 cut up like the denominators. These common denominators are 9s. So I'm going to cut it up into 9 9s. I'm still adding it. That addition right there is very important because it's now making the top number bigger. 9 plus 5 is 14. So you have now made that number bigger than the 6, helping you figure it out or solve it out. if you think about this, and if you, like, let me just show you something kind of off the wall for just a second. And we've talked about this, but like, just kind of watch for just a second. I want you to think about something. If you have a weird, just subtraction problem like in 3rd grade, and it looks something like this. Okay. Does everybody agree? You've seen that before. Okay. You realize you can't do 3 minus 9. Right? Can y'all see it? Okay. So you borrow from the 2, and you take 1 from him, right? And he has 1 left. Does everybody agree? Okay. The 1 you borrowed goes where? He's out here flying around. Where does he land? With the 3, right? To make a new number called a 13. I want you to think about those steps. You knew you had to borrow. You knew that you couldn't do, y'all look, because a lot of y'all are lost, but you won't watch me when I teach it. You knew you couldn't do 5 minus 6. Just like here, you knew you couldn't do 3 minus 9. So you borrowed. You stole 1 from him. You stole 1 from him. The 1 you borrowed is out here flying around. Well, here it landed as a 10 to make a 13. Here it landed as basically a 1, which is 1 whole pizza. You borrowed 1 whole. Everybody agree? Okay. But when that 1 lands right there, it has got to be cut up to match this so that we can actually add it. Because fractions have to have common denominators. So we cut it up based on the bottom number. Well, what out of 9 is 1 whole? 9 out of 9. Because it's like you're saying you have all 9 slices of pizza out of 9. Well, all it is when you add these together, you got that. Up here when you added them together, you got that. It's the same thing. It's just the numbers look a little different because you're not just slinging a 1, you're slinging a fractional 1. 9 out of 9 is still 1. Okay? Then, think about what the next step is up here. We do 13 minus 9, so 14 minus 6, which is 8. Okay? And then think about it, like over here, you have to finish the math out. So 3 minus 1. 2. All it is, and if you'll kind of keep looking for just a second. Okay. I'm going to use a goofy highlighter, but if this helps anyone, whatever these denominators are, is what you add when you add it if you got to borrow. So if it's 12s, you add 12 12ths. If it's 20s, you add 20 20ths. Because all you're doing then is making that number larger. And the reason you're adding is you want to make it bigger, and adding makes it bigger. So if you can just remember that you borrow and you add the denominators. If it's 3, it'd be 3/3. If it's 10, it'd be 10/10. Okay? It's just odd. If you truly think about, I don't want to throw you off, but I want you to think about this for just a second. If you have pizzas and you got 2 boxes sitting there, and I know this is goofy, but work with me here, people. Okay. One pizza's cut like this, and you've got, let's say that you've got this slice right here that some kid took and ran off with. Okay. That the pizza over here was cut like that. Well, everybody ate this pizza except this slice. And I want to take this one slice and I want to put it right there. Can I do it? No. Because they're not the same size. So when we add, if you truly think about adding fractions, all you're doing is trying to make them cut up the same so they can honestly, what I call, fit in the same box. Have you ever combined pizza to make it fit in the refrigerator? Because you're so lazy you just shove the whole box in the refrigerator? That's me, yes, I do that. So if you have more pizza than you can fit in the box, all it is you're kind of cleaning it up. So you're making it all fit together to work out. Okay? So hopefully that helps. I don't know. I know I went off the deep end, but that's okay. Okay, so number 2. I'm going to give you a second to kind of catch up, because I know some of you I just blew your mind. It's okay. Here we go. Okay, number 2. Should be a little easier to add. Okay, common denominator. 12. Now, if you use 24, that is fine. You just are going to have to simplify more. Okay. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. I am adding, so 6 plus 3. 9/12. And then what simplifies it? 3. I'm thinking 3's tables. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Just simplifying, top and bottom by the same number. Okay, good so far? Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to do 3 and 4. Here we go. Gonna leave some room. 3, I'm going to use the rewritten way, or the way I cleaned it up as. And then 4. Okay, so I'll give you a second to kind of see if you can do those two real quick. Y'all would do that. So 7/25. Good on that one? Okay. Oh, I have no clue. Doing them actually in order is kind of... yeah. This thing does simplify twice. The 3 and the 9 would turn into be a 1 and a 3. And the 2 and the 4 turn into a 1 and a 2. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as in the end you got 1/6. As long as you simplified it all the way, you're good. Okay. 18. Let's see, 3/4. Now, we finally, I don't know why there's so many that weren't that way, but that's okay, are seeing one with the mixed number. Anytime with multiply, divide, my friends who are absent, if there is a mixed number with a whole number, we got to get it into the improper before we do the math. So, keep the 3/4 the way it is. It's already multiplied, so you're good to go. But we've got to do the backwards C. We're going to multiply 2 times 3 and add the 1 into it. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7/3. Okay, simplifying 3 and 3. Oh, okay, you already multiplied. So 7/4. Yeah. How many 4s going to 7? Okay, and 3/4. Yeah. I was thinking you were probably reading the wrong one or something. That's okay. 19. Trying to get to a division one. Give me just a second. 19 is 2 2/7 times 7/3. Okay. Change this one for sure. 7 times 2 is 14. 15 16/7 times 7/3. I was already thinking about simplifying. I can get rid of the 7s, which will make my life a lot easier. How many 3s are in 16? 5. Now, no one should be packing up yet, because I'm trying to get to a division problem. Plus, I think we have some time. Okay, on number 20, this is where the division kicks in. And the division, I'm afraid you all are just going to go too fast and forget to keep, change, flip. Okay, so on the division, this is number 20. First, we have to get rid of any whole numbers. So, keep the 11 over 2. For right now, I'm going to keep the division sign. And I'm going to clean this up. This would be 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 thirds. Okay, now, we are going to, right here, we've got to keep, change, flip. Okay, I'm going to keep 11 over 2, change to multiply, and flip it over to 3 over 13. Now, earlier I talked about like the magic box and simplifying. Listen, you cannot cross simplify in the division stage. You can only do it when you reach here. It has to be in the multiplication stage. Which on this one looks weird. Can you simplify? Can you do tops and bottoms anywhere? No. So like it's just big numbers. 11 times 3, 33. 2 times 13, 26. It's better than I thought it was. Okay, it would be 1 and 7 26. I love trying to say proper numbers sometimes, but here is the plan. So this is 7th period. If you would like to finish 21 through 25, it'll be on the video. And if you would like to finish, you know, this part, this will be on the video. I'll do those in 8th period. So honestly, if you guys wanted to skip to about minute 29 or 30, that's where your part will start in. And all I'll do is just record the other half. So we are now in 8th period. And what I'm going to do is start working on 21 through 25 with them. Simplifying seems to be an issue, and then kind of working on the front in just a minute. Okay, so first, I've had a few kids absent, so I'm just kind of re-talking or re-teaching through some of it. Okay, so number 21, here we go. First, you would write the problem, just the way it is. Okay. Let's add that up. So, it does not matter if it is multiply or divide. Okay, people have been absent. On this, if it is on the multiply divide, if it has a whole number, we have to get rid of it. First step. Okay? So, starting out, 11 over 2 is just going to stay 11 over 2. Because it's cleaned up and pretty. Then, keep the division sign for right now. Guys, I'm on number 21. Okay, when you see the mixed numbers, you have got to do what I call the backwards C to change it. So you have to do the 4 times 9 is 36, add the 3 to get 39 over 4. Okay. Now that it is what I call cleaned up, now we can finally, because it's division, we don't divide fractions, we're going to use keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep 11 over 2. Change to multiply, and flip it over to 4 over 39. Now, right here we have finally reached that magic box where we can cross-simplify if something cross-simplifies. But you cannot do it till you hit the multiplication. Okay, so are there any tops and bottoms that simplify? 2 and 4, that is right. 1 second. 2 and 4. Okay. And what goes into 2 and 4? 2, right. And it's 1 and 2. I get what y'all are saying. It's all they're doing is 2 will go into 2 one time. 2 will go into 4 twice. Well, right. But what they're trying to give me are these answers. And I kind of get it. Like, they're saying it's a 1 and it's a 2. I get it. Okay. Now, next step is check, make sure nothing else simplifies. Okay, now multiply straight across. 11 times 2, 22. 1 times 39, 39. Kind of double checking, make sure nothing simplifies it. Nothing. I know that's 2 times 11, but 2 and 11 won't work with that. Okay, so let's do number 22. Number 22 is 8 and 1/2 divided by 11/3. Step 1, I'm going to multiply and add. I'm going to get rid of this mixed number. It would be 17 over 2 divided by 11 over 3. Okay. Step 2, we're going to want to keep change flip. Keep 17 over 2. Change to multiply. And then literally flip over the second one. Whoops, I wrote it the wrong spot. What happens when I look away? Okay. Flip this one. And it's 3 over 11. Okay. Now, I'm looking right there. I'm finally in that magic box where there's a multiply sign, no whole numbers. Does anything simplify? No. So we gotta, all we can do on this one is just multiply straight across. Okay. 22 on bottom. 51 on top. Okay, now, whenever the top number is bigger than the bottom, we got to make it a mixed number. How many 22s are in 51? 2, because it's 44, right? 44. There would be 7 left over. Yes, 7 left over out of 22. And nothing else simplifies. Do y'all see how I got this to this?
I was thinking it was
9 left over. So 42 22s is 44. So 45 for 6 for 7 for 8 for 9, 50, 51. It's okay. I was just double checking my math.
I was looking at 22.
Okay.
I was thinking of 31. That's
31, yes. Listen, I make mistakes, and it's 8th period recording. There's no telling. Okay, let's try another one. Let's see. 23 is 2.5 divided by 26/3. Clean up that whole number, which would be 5 over 2 divided by 26/3. Okay. Whoops, almost did it too fast. I gotta keep change flip. Does anything simplify right there? No. I was looking at it, just kind of making sure, but 5 times, it looks like it would, but it's the bottoms, and you can't do that. And 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 8 is 24, so that didn't work. I got 15 over 52. Oh, yeah, like, because it's so big. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because of 5s and stuff, yeah. And that's, we had a real discussion. I videoed earlier today, and just because I had to stop the video and stuff, but we had a real discussion about the faster the multiplication tables that you know, like the quicker you know them and the more you know about them, it's easier. So, you know, like I see 15 and I think of 3 times 5. But I know 3 and 5 don't work on that one. So that's just what I'm talking about. 24, finally seeing one that has 2 mixed numbers. All that means is you might be working with a little larger numbers. Doesn't always mean bad stuff though. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2, 20 over 3. Divided by 8, 9, 10 fourths. I'm going to keep, change, flip. Okay. Can you simplify? Yeah. You gotta flip it first. Once you flip it, then do y'all see how that the 10 and the 20 simplify? And I'd much rather get rid of those if possible. So 10 into 10 once, 10 into 20 twice. I would much rather do 2 times 4 is 8. And 3 times 1 is 3, then working with anything times 20 and 10. Okay. How many 3s are in 8? 2, because that's 6, right? 2's left over out of 3. Yeah, if the top number's bigger, you're going to want to divide it out. I know. Just keep checking. My thing is, tomorrow before you turn in a test paper, I would just check all answers. Are any of the top numbers bigger? And just check your work that way. I try to put reminders on the board, but then people don't always look at them. So, okay, 25. Let's see. Oh, that one should be easy. 1/3 divided by 2/5. It's already set up pretty, so we can jump straight to the keep, change, flip. Since nothing simplifies, it's just 5, 6. Easy breezy. Maybe in here was just 1, but there were a couple of you who were absent yesterday or the day before. Multiply, you know, that's just the multiply. Same thing, straight over. If it had the multiply sign, you still would change it. You would just start multiplying across. So, okay. Now, I realized at 8th period, we just did the bottom of this. Okay. What I would like to do is now kind of flip it over to the front. It's going to be kind of weird, but we're going to do 7 through 10 first. 7 through 10. I kind of did those earlier, so we're just going to kind of see what happens here. Remembering, this is the hard part. Okay, we got to have common denominators. Okay, so starting with like number 7. What I'm going to do is write down like 2 of them, give you a second to try to figure them out, and then we'll kind of compare our work. There's number 7, number 8, I'll give you a minute to kind of just see if you can remember what to do. Now, I'm going to go kind of deep on how to do these. I've got some kids still really confused, but you have been doing this since at least probably 4th grade. Okay, so when adding fractions or subtracting, step 1 is they have to have a common denominator. Okay, so step 1 is to take the bottom numbers, the denominators, and really what I'm doing in my head is I'm thinking what's called the LCM, the least common multiple, but I'm skip counting by 9s and 5s. And I'm thinking about those multiplication tables. And I'm skip counting. And I'm sitting here looking. Nothing so far is matching up. Well, right there. I finally found ones that match up. The 45 and the 45. So that means that my common denominator would be 45. Skip counting or whatever you want to call it. Officially it's called least common multiple. Okay. Does everybody know how to get the bottom number now?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll talk about the top number, the numerator. To get the numerator, you do have to think about the bottom though. And this is what I think. I do this. I say 9 times what would give me 45? 5. So then I transfer that thinking right there. So if I did times 5 here, I'm going to do times 5 here. 7 times 5? 35. You now have your new numerator. So now I'm going to go down here. 5 times what is 45? Times 9. So 3 times 9 is 27. You've now created, these are equivalent, these are the same. They're just cut differently. Okay, once you have created these new fractions to work with, you're taking just the numerators first, and you're looking. 35 minus 27 is what? 8. Oops, well I didn't write that real good, but that's okay. 8 over 45. Last step, are there any whole numbers? No. And I'm checking, like I know that's divisible by 2, that's not. 4, that's not. 8, that's not. So it is simplified all the way. Okay, let's try number 8 now. So think about it. If you skip count by 8s and 9s, what is your lowest common number? Got to know your 8s tables and your 9s tables. 72. 8 times 9 is 72. Okay. Now, to create the numerators, I am going to look at what I'm doing on the bottom here. So, like here, I know 9 times 8 is 72. So I'm thinking, I don't know why it does that, it jumps every time I try to make something large. Okay, I know 9 times 8 is 72, so I'm going to put that times 8 to the numerator, and 8 times 8 is 64. Now I'm going to do the one above it. 8 times what? 72? 9. So 42 times 9. And listen, if you put up 42 times 9, do it on the edge of your paper. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 1, 7, so 378. Now, you're now working with 378 plus 64. So, 378 plus 64 So, currently, I have 442 over 72 with a 3 coming down as the whole number. Yes? If you went ahead and changed this to mixed, it's a lot easier, yes. Just give me a second, because I'm not finished yet. Now, the last part about this is that you've now got a larger number on the top than the bottom. Now, starting out with just this part, you've got to figure out, you're going to have to do some division. And what I'm doing is I'm sitting here thinking, well, 442 divided by 72. I know 4 would be probably too low. 5 would be 35, 6, 42. Okay, I'm going to try 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So, I would hate to have to say names right now of kids that I want to call their parents. And that's where I'm at. And I don't normally say these things in the middle of a video, but I need you to straighten up right now before your 100-point test tomorrow. Now, right here is the answer. You just got to figure out where it's at. Your mixed number is 6 and 10 72s. 6 and 10 over 72. We got to add it back into the 3, making it a 9 and 10 72s. But it simplifies by 2. So, if I divide this by 2, I would have a 5. And if I divide this by 2, I would have 36. So, in the end, it's 9 and 5, 36. Yes?
And are questions like this going to be really common on the test?
I don't know. Like, guys, I hate to be weird, but, like, we should be able to do that. I hope not, but, like, I don't even remember. Yes?
I did down the same way, like, I turned 42
eighths
into base number.
Yeah.
And I got 9 and 1/6.
Okay. One second. I want to show this. All it is a lot of y'all did this. Okay. They took the same exact problem. Let me do it this way. And instead of doing 42 eighths, they changed it. How many eighths are in 42? 5. So 42 eighths would be 5 and 2 eighths. Okay. The bottom would be 3 and 8 ninths. Common denominator would still be 72. And 64, like that. Okay? 64 plus 18, 82 over 72, and that would be an 8. Okay? This part would clean up to be 1 and 10 72s. That would be the 8, so that'd be 8 plus 1. This would be making the 9, and 10 72s divided by 2 would be 5 over 36. It is a little easier that way, but you're still working with some pretty not so great numbers. Yes.
So like, I think, yeah, it was on number, yeah, on 8. What did you get when you added like
442. You had to carry 1. Uh-huh.
Oh, so we should do like 8 plus 4, and then which is like 12.
Uh-huh.
7 plus 4.
Uh-huh. 7 plus 6 plus 1. And then carry a 1 there.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't remember if there's any that big. I don't remember, but, like, I don't think there are, but there's no telling. Now, I'm going to do 9 and 10. Here we go. On number 9, it is, I asked you to rewrite this one because it's kind of not pretty. Hoping that it will make it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and write 10 in hopes that okay, so these two, here we go. On 9 and 10, looking for a common denominator between a 5 and an 8 would be a 40. Creating the numerator, I would be thinking 5 times 8 is 40, so 3 times 8 is 24. I would then be thinking 8 times 5 is 40, so 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, I notice that this one is subtraction. So 24 minus 10 is 14 40ths, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, yes, it simplifies by 2, so the new answer would be that divided by 2 would be 7, that divided by 2 would be 20. And you were there, that final answer on that one. Okay. And on number 10, working it out, common denominator of a 7 and a 9. I'm thinking, making sure, I guess it is 63. I was kind of hoping there was a smaller one, but that's okay. Okay, so 7 times 9 is 63. 4 times 9 is 36. 9 times 7 is 63. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, going into adding now. 36 plus 14 would be 40 over 63 and a 6. I'm kind of checking. I know that would be divisible by 3. Is it 50? 1 second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is 50. Good. And I'm still checking it. 5s, no. 2s, no. 10s. I think, as far as I can tell, it is simplified all the way. Now, this is not what I'm going to call, like I said earlier, official homework. But if you would like to do the rest of them and check them, they're all in the video. Nope. I just said they are not official homework. But if you would like to do them in practice, you may.
Hey, at least you got extra.